What's up, folks? And I just really cannot believe that it's been a long time, and I'm just so excited to be back talking The Walking Dead, as this is the finale, and I am ready to give you my review of it, as it was an amazing episode here. It will be airing October 4th, and it's titled A Certain Death and like a certain Doom. I'm sorry, I keep saying a certain death. A Certain Doom is the title, and you know, I'm all types of emotions right now here. Like, this was a amazing episode. And that the finale, you know, because of COVID, had to be pushed back because it had been done, but they had to get the VFXs right. And they absolutely did. It was absolutely worth every bit of the moments and time that they need to get this right, because this episode visually was amazing. But this is an amazing finale. It really is. I love this nine times 10 over than I ever thought I would, because, you know, I guess because I was just so, first of all, season 10 has been amazing in its own, and with the momentum that season 10 built, and then the fact that COVID happened and we had to wait for 16, I felt like I wasn't going to have the same love and appreciation for this finale as if it had just aired the week it was supposed to air. But considering that it had got pushed back months, and finally seeing it now, like, it was every bit of the way. This was an amazing episode. So much to talk about here, so let's get into it right now. So this was obviously the final battle of the Whisperer War. And, you know, with the Hurge, you know, it takes a lot of visual effects to get that done right. So that was a big core factor as to, you know, why they needed the extra time. And throughout this episode, you've seen the Herd as they was attacking Daryl, Carol, and the crew. And then you've seen the Herd obviously making their way to the ultimate demise over a cliff, and which was a nice visual shot in its own, using a lot of special effects, but done really practical, if you ask me. I thought it looked really good. And I mean, we've seen some really wonky special effects in the past, but they got it done excellent on this episode. But so for episode filled with so, you know, based on war, you know, war typically brings death, pain, sadness, all forms of things, but this episode was the complete opposite, and it was absolutely beautiful, filled with love and hope. I mean, even the monologue in the beginning by Gabriel just had me ready, and it was so beautifully done. But I gotta tell you, when Maggie picked up that letter that was written by Carol, and when I saw her face for the first time after, you know, obviously she was announced to be returning after San Diego Comic-Con in last October, I've been so excited to see her back. But like, seeing her face back on the screen, this gave me chills like no other. I was absolutely ready for the episode right at that moment. And not only just that, Maggie was ready, because once she had read the letter and she got the play and she forgot all that was happening, it was a no-brainer. And I'm so happy that they was able to bring Lauren Cohan back. Like, she is a phenomenal part of the Walking Dead family, and her being back just, it, you know, with us losing major members of this of the family, her being back just gave me all the emotions as to, you know, some of the original reasons why I love this show. So, but yes, you know, the war is on, and the Whisperers are in full force, and, you know, for them, this is the end of the world, so they have nothing to lose here. They're going full force, and they're going to do whatever they can to have win this. But it seemed so different to hear, you know, Daryl and everybody seem really like almost prepared for their demise. Like, they were just like, you know, everyone's not going to make it. And it's that somber talk that we don't really hear from them, you know, because, you know, Rick wasn't that type of person. Rick think he can win everything. So, you know, now with the absence of Rick, with the absence of Michonne, you know, Daryl being mostly the vocal the vocal support and the leader of everybody, him taking a different approach was just really different for me. But it set the tone and the mood for this episode. Like, it was exactly what needed to been said, because we're always used to seeing our heroes come out of everything, and when it comes down to war in the past, we know that it traditionally doesn't go the way we want it to go. But they just felt so defeated, and it just took my emotions on another turn, shall I say? But the anticipation and the suspense, just and the fear in the hurt scenes really had me at the edge of my seat, because the whispers, you just, even for us, we can't really identify who is a whisperer and who isn't. And so kind of as they navigate through the herd, and we're kind of looking out, like, we're, it's the finale, we're expecting somebody to die here. So it just was really like, I was balled up. I didn't know what was going to happen. It was very suspenseful, shall I say. But much like the last episode, Negan and Lydia, their relationship is so... to be honest, Lydia is like a manifestation of every kid that we've seen on the show. From all the kids that Carol's lost, from Carl. It's just like every adult who had some type of love or respect for a kid at one point in the show looks to Lydia as that same beacon of hope. So like this Negan and Lydia relationship has just been, it had me so emotional. And then when Negan gave her Alpha's mask and said that he was going to go be the hero after he kind of bowed out and said there was nothing for him to do here because he was a target. That right there, like, hit me. I was just like, wow, like, it's crazy to see the story arc of Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the man, but like, that relationship with him and Nydia is just amazing. Beatrice, who was walking with Carol through the herd, her death, gruesome. That's all I can say. Not to mention, going back to Lydia real quick, every scene with Lydia in this episode, the score with her was amazing. One of my favorites, I think, of the entire series. And I think it's just so fitting because of all of the drama that was happening in this episode, that she got this really somber score attached to her and her character, because this episode had a lot to do with her and Carol, which we'll talk about in a second. But it was really cool because with war, we know war is a battle of two armies, and it's cool to see Daryl and them and then Beta and them sort of playing chess with each other here, and who's going to eventually pick up the win. So it was really cool how there was counters with this, because much like you are when you're going to watch this, your emotions are going to go both ways, like a game of tug of war here. But there was amazing scenes throughout this entire episode. Gabriel kicking ass was just the highlight. And when I thought Gabriel was ready to meet his demise, the mass ass kicker comes in, and that was so dope. So dope, because Maggie being back and bringing this killing machine with her, I can't wait. That's all I can say. I can't wait. But I was actually like, Gabriel, oh man, I wasn't ready, but I knew, again, the anticipation that somebody was going to meet their demise, and I was like, oh, come on, not Gabriel. But if it had been his way, he went out with a bang, because Gabriel was kicking ass this episode. But I also really love going back into like the tug of war aspect of this. Daryl and them being on offense with with the horses and the speakers and everything. I thought that was really cool how that was shot. I love Walking Dead for the low light scenes. I think they do a really good job in really creating the horror just within the cinematography, and I thought that was just really, really cool. So like, yes, when they were on offense, when they were pulling the speaker was really awesome. And then also when they went back into the herd, because when the speaker operation failed, that was just dope. Like, that's the crew that we remember. The one who's kicking ass, who's not hiding out waiting. The ones that's on offense going to do the damage. So like, that was really, really cool. But I mean, how could we not talk about probably the best scene of this entire episode? And that's the Alpha and Negan scene. I had no clue how this was going to go, but I got to say, my God, was that beautifully shot. Absolutely some of the best cinematography work in the entire series in that scene alone, with the recalls of Beta and Alpha, and then how Beta meets his death and goes out like a certified G. Yeah, do you know who that asshole was? Yeah, nobody. Epic line of epic proportions. Daryl and Negan, I'm loving the relationship. It just keeps getting better and better. But again, talking about Lydia and Judith, everyone has special love for them, and it just really, really brings back the humanity side of this. Even though they're going through this zombie apocalypse, like, everybody's love for these two kids it's beautiful, and I fall for it all the time. Everyone's always ready to risk it when it comes down to them, and they come from way two different backgrounds, and the idea that they still get the same love is just really, really special to me. But as much as I talk about that, Lydia's love for Carol, I was almost at tears. Oh my God, when she saved Carol, it was so beautiful. And it's so beautiful because if you know the Carol story and you really, really is invested into Carol, the character, Carol has lost so much. Every single time she attaches herself to a kid, she loses them. And this is the daughter that she didn't see coming. And while she tried to completely resist that, Lydia gravitated to her, and they both found new beginnings in what they was looking for. And I have to say, even though it's already been announced that we're getting a Daryl and Carol show, I really thought this was it for Carol, and it would have been fitting because she was free. That walk to the cliff was her basically being completely satisfied and knowing that she had served her purpose because she's lost so much and she didn't know what else she had to give, and that was just her way of saying she was free. But Lydia saving her, oh my God, it was beautiful. Nonetheless, it's absolutely it's hard to not love Lydia and Carol relationship, the mother-daughter relationship. As you know, Lydia throwing over Alpha's mask is the sign of letting that completely go, forgiving Carol, and Carol coming back and them having that moment was the idea of them both finding something within each other to keep pushing on. So I just thought that was really special. But then again, more emotions when Daryl and Carol talk, and Daryl asked her, "Did you get what you wanted?" And she said no. And then he said, "You still got me." Oh. Daryl and Carol, folks, I'm trying to tell you. Whew. All right, people. Connie, we finally got an answer. God damn it, Connie is alive, and I'm happy. And Virgil's here for the rescue. As Virgil's still looking for his family, as we can see this entire episode of him just running around. Now he has a horse and whatnot. But I'm very interested to see where that goes because Virgil's not really the most, I don't know, social person, shall I say. And Connie, who is just completely out of it, and having to now trust a stranger who may not be able to directly speak to her is going to be a process because we know how loving Connie is, and completely, being out of her element. This is going to be interesting going forward. So I don't know what to expect just yet, but I think that's going to be something special for sure. But last but not least, or almost last but not least, Maggie seeing Judith was just, man, it's powerful. Again, Maggie being back in the Walking Dead family, Lauren is super special, and we know there's going to be a lot to be told there because Judith has a special place with the original cast, and with Michonne gone and with Rick gone and everybody else, Maggie coming back, we're going to see, and now Maggie's a young boss, shall I say, a leader. And, it's going to be interesting to see Maggie giving trust in a way she typically hasn't gave trust. And that's giving trust into Judith to be a counterpart, not a kid, because they respect her. Everyone loves her like their daughter, but everyone respect her as a partner, eye to eye. So that's gonna be special because we've seen Maggie in the past not truly have trust amongst others. So that's gonna be something. But obviously we need to talk about Eugene's voyage here. Now Eugene has been chasing his girlfriend, and he's got to a dead end where she's not there, and he's almost given up hope, but he hasn't given up hope in finding others, shall I say. He's very optimistic that there's others that need to be found, and whatever it may be. Not to mention Princess saying that he's a horny dude was probably the best line of the episode. But oh my God, folks, the Commonwealth Army is here. I cannot wait to see where this goes. If you know anything about the comics, this is absolutely something that all the fans have been waiting for. And now that we finally see the Commonwealth Army, this is going to be something. So, but overall, this finale was amazing. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite episodes, and I'm just so glad to be back talking The Walking Dead. And it's Walking Dead season. No matter if the next season is going to be the last, season 11 is going to be the last. As a Walking Dead fan, like, it doesn't matter because there's so many different spin-off materials and all different forms of media that there's nothing to be fearful of. Like, we know that good things always come to an end. I'm just excited that we still have it as it is now. But I'm so excited already for season 11. And then obviously we got Fear the Walking Dead and we got Worlds Beyond. So we have a lot of good Walking Dead content coming, and you know I'm covering it. So people, definitely stay tuned and be ready because it's time for The Walking Dead to return. Thank you for watching my review, everybody. Catch you soon.
Teases.